Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes? Matt from YoVideogames here, and I'm back again to sort of talk about a subject I've technically covered already, but Nintendo themselves brought it back up recently in their financial quarter, announcement, investor Q&A, what have you. And this is directly related to their movie output. As we all know, the Super Mario Brothers movie that came out a couple years ago, one of the most successful animated movies of all time. I think it was like just behind that stupid Lion King CG remake, maybe Frozen 2 or something. I don't know, but it was up there. It made over $1 billion. So it was a big old hit, and of course Nintendo's going to make another one. We already know about it. They gave us a teaser for Super Mario Galaxy, the movie. But last night, during their investor Q&A and their quarterly financial announcements, Nintendo had a whole slide basically for them that said straight up, we plan to make more movies and we plan to release them consistently, like yearly even, because next year you have Mario Galaxy, 2027 you have the live-action Zelda mistake, and then so on and so forth. So they're going to be making a lot of movies apparently, and it's obviously they can't just do Mario and Zelda only, even though Nintendo will probably be fine with that. I think even movie-going audiences would eventually be like, okay, well, it's enough. But what I do think, it makes an interesting sort of, so where can they go from here? Nintendo has a ton of IPs. They are the Disney of video games, or they want to be anyway. So I'm going to break down like 10 or 12 movies on order of most likely to least likely happening, and just sort of, I'm just going to give you this sort of breakdown of my thoughts of them and the likelihood. And starting number one is absolutely going to happen, 100%. It's pretty much confirmed, and that's we're going to get a third Mario movie, CG Mario movie, and we're going to get a second Zelda live action. So number one, Mario 3, Zelda 2, it's happening. It's going to happen. Unless the Zelda movie completely critically bombs, and not critically, I mean financially bombs, you will definitely get a Zelda 2. And I don't think the Zelda movie is going to bomb. I think it's at the very least going to do okay. But they're absolutely going to follow them up. Like the Mario Galaxy, as we should now call it, it's going to make money. That's going to make a huge profit. The Zelda movie's a little up in the air if it's going to be super profitable, but I think it'll make money, and I think the idea is to absolutely do Zelda 2 and eventually a Zelda 3. I think they absolutely want to make at least a trilogy of Mario, at least a trilogy of Zelda. So that's number one. Number two will be Donkey Kong. So get ready to hear a whole 90 minutes or more of Seth's laugh, because it's happening. This was already rumored, and yeah, it's almost a guarantee. I'd say it's like the most 80-85% likely happening. He was a well-received character in the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Donkey Kong has done well for himself. Nintendo has clearly shown interest in keeping the brand alive with theme parks, with Bonanza. I think this is just sort of like almost guaranteed there will be a Donkey Kong solo spin-off movie. Hopefully at that point we'll actually get characters like Diddy, Dixie, Crank. Well, we already have Cranky, but other famous Kong characters getting their shot. Now, will it be an adaptation of Country, or will it be an adaptation of Bonanza? It'll probably be something in the middle there. It would be my guess. I don't really know. But either way, expect big celebrity tie-ins to voice, Diddy and Dixie. It'll probably be like Tom Holland and Zendaya or something like that. Will be Diddy and Dixie. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty likely to happen. Less likely, but I still think this is almost definitely going to happen, will be a Luigi's Mansion movie. Again, they already have a Luigi as an established character with a celebrity voice actor in the Mario movies. And Charlie Cox obviously would be down, I'm pretty sure. I think it makes sense. It's kind of like, there'll be like a fall release, film, and I'm sure Illumination will probably be doing it, same as with the Donkey Kong movie. I think this is kind of a shoe-in film. I mean, even if they don't go with, Illumination and they do maybe their own in-house CG studio they've been building up, who knows? Either way, I think Luigi's Mansion is just going to happen. Like Luigi's Mansion 3 sold like 12 million copies, 12 or 14 million copies on the Switch 2. Like, it's so happening. It's not even funny. So I think that's just more likely. Now, those 4 films are guarantees. The rest, I think, going to interject here. This is going to be recorded separately. I'm just going to say I almost forgot about Splatoon. Oh my God, yes, Nintendo is going to make a Splatoon film. So yeah, like in the sort of likely but like not 100%. Yeah, I'm going to say Splatoon film is absolutely on their thoughts. It's in the process. It's going to happen. Yeah, and then yeah, I have not much more to say to that, but I'll continue with the rest of the video. The next two are kind of in this 50-50 range. I think if Zelda does really well, and if Prime 4 does really well, there is a universe in which I think Nintendo might do a live-action Metroid. I don't think Metroid will be CG. I think they'll go live-action. It's not impossible. Again, I don't really have any hopes for it. I have as much hopes for a Metroid movie as I do the Zelda movie. But yeah, I could see them doing it. Now, what would they do? What would they adapt? Would it be sort of an adaptation of Zero Mission? Probably, but also get ready to see some other M lore, sneak its way in there. It'll definitely be like its own take on it. You'll see a lot more of the Galactic Federation, what have you, more talkative space pirates. But yeah, I do think live action Metroid is likely to happen. But again, I wouldn't expect there to be this very hands off or like let the director and the writer go wild with the Metroid lore. No, Nintendo's kind of already indicated they're going to be taking a very hands-on approach to all this stuff, which means they're going to take Sakamoto out, which also means that the man who directed the first Metroid and gave us other M will have creative control over a Metroid movie when and if it does happen, and that probably won't be great, but yeah, that's the reality you're going to live in. Sorry, Metroid fans. A monkey paw wishes always seem to come with your Metroid games. The next one, again, I'm kind of 50-50. I feel like this could just be YouTube shorts. This could just be maybe kind of like an animated series on Netflix or something. And that's Animal Crossing. And I think Nintendo definitely wants to do something with Animal Crossing because Animal Crossing has sold 50, 60 million copies or something on the Switch 1 alone. They're going to have the Switch 2 version coming out. And I think they definitely see potential there. It would be a very... I don't know how you make this a compelling 90-minute, 2-hour film. I don't know what is your drama? What is your conflict? What's your conflict resolution? It's fucking Animal Crossing. Like, nothing happens in these games ever. Judy didn't get her gift on time and then she's upset with you or whatever, or you missed the KK Slider concert, or maybe you had a deep philosophical conversation with Brewster, at 3 a.m. I don't fucking know what you do with this movie, and I hope I'm not divorced by the end of this video for saying that. But yeah, this is Animal Crossing, I think, is something that they probably want to do, but there's probably a little bit of, okay, how do we go about doing this? What are we gonna do? How do we make conflict? How do we make like a plot? So the simple answer might just be make cute shorts that go before your movies, go before your Mario 3 or Zelda 2, or you just make YouTube shorts, and maybe that's something that's happening. And then following along with that, I think there's two other series that are basically Miyamoto's Nepo babies, and there's probably a want to do something with them, but also where do we go with it? The first one is Star Fox. Now, this could easily just make a simple 90-minute movie and be great. But again, there was a point in time where they were going to make a stop-motion or Thunderbird-style Star Fox series on Netflix, and it got canceled. It seems like such a great idea to go back to that or get Jim Henson Muppet Productions making a Star Fox movie would be great. But again, I don't know how profitable it is, because that's the problem. Like, Star Fox is okay, you can clearly see how you'd make a movie out of it, whether it be stop motion, whether it be puppets, whether it be just CG animation. The problem is there enough of an audience that gives a shit about Star Fox that's going to show up to the theater to make the movie profitable? And no one can really answer that. We all love Star Fox. Hey, Star Fox is great, but my childhood, my nostalgia. Yes, your nostalgia. Yes. But is that going to turn into actual dollar sales? Is that going to be a return on investment? And that's the one where we I think there's hesitation there. Because, the last Star Fox game did not go over super well. And there's definitely still like a lot of debate even amongst the Star Fox fandom on what direction the series should go in. Secondly, again, is the other Nepo baby, which is Pikmin, which is obviously what Miyamoto is in love with, and they've already done what I said they should do, which is make YouTube shorts, and there'll probably be more. You could make a movie out of Pikmin. That one I think is a lot easier plot-wise to like envision, a sort of beginning, middle, end, a 3-act structure than say Animal Crossing, but it's also kind of one of those like, is this something people would show up in droves for to the movie theaters? Is this going to give you a return on investment in the same way Donkey Kong and Luigi's Mansion would? Well, Donkey Kong and Luigi's Mansion will absolutely give you, but we'll get butts and seats. Pikmin, I don't know. I think maybe there's a little bit of hesitancy. I think they're going to probably see how Donkey Kong and Luigi's Mansion and then obviously Mario 3 goes. I think Pikmin is in this sort of Nintendo would love to do this. Nintendo probably wants to do this, but Nintendo's probably being a little smarter and not like running into it right away, which is why we haven't heard about it. Same thing with Animal Crossing. This all builds up, of course, to the inevitable. Are they building to a Super Smash Brothers movie? Is the Nintendo Cinematic Universe going to have its Avengers moment? And that is something where I'm like, I don't know, because the reason I don't know about this is because Sony Pictures is funding and footing the bill and making the live-action Zelda movie. Universal and Illumination are doing the Mario movies. And if different studios do different movie releases, that's going to make the idea probably a little more entangled than say like, hey, we're just building to a Super Smash Brothers movie, because Nintendo themselves are not a major movie studio who owns who just made all the movies themselves on their own dime necessarily. Now you could argue there could be a way around it where it's like, okay, yeah, like Sony did live action Zelda, but CG Zelda, hand-drawn animated, or not hand-drawn, but CG animated Zelda in a Smash Brothers movie, that's a completely different thing. It's not going to be the same. So I don't know. It really depends on how Nintendo is setting up these publishing licensing contracts for these films with these other movie studios. It's really going to depend on that. I don't think the Smash Brothers, doing a Everyone Is Here kind of collab movie, crossover movie, I don't know I don't know if that's even in their minds. I think they're like, no, that's kind of a video game thing we say for the video game. It is the third best-selling Switch game. It is a huge franchise. It would absolutely put butts in seats, but the way these movies are being made, I don't know if that's actually where they're going. Because when Sony announced they were doing the Zelda movie, I was like, what the... Okay, why wasn't everything being done through Universal? Why didn't Universal fight to do everything themselves? What is Nintendo playing at? What's their game here? Like, so, and Nintendo maybe being Nintendo is just like, no, we're not. Of course, we never thought about building the Smash Brothers movie. That was never the plan. That was never the goal. So, it's one of those. This seems like something that would be like a slam dunk, but it's also Nintendo, and I don't know. Maybe they're not doing this. And again, the other thing we got to remember here is that Mario alone is nothing but a celebrity jerk-off fest of voiceovers. And all other movies, Zelda, live-action Zelda, maybe not so much, but all the like CG animated movies are going to have big celebrity voices in it. And that's going to make the movie prohibitively expensive if, say, you got to Smash Brothers and you're like, okay, well, I want all my celebrities from Mario, all of them from Donkey Kong, Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing if they ever get to it, Star Fox, Pikmin, what have you. That's just, it's a problem. It's a problem Disney already ran into, but again, that's probably a good reason why Smash Brothers may not ever happen. The most thing is every Mario adjacent character can and will show up in a Mario themed movie, but Smash Brothers, that might be a bit of a bridge too far there. I don't know. I kind of see this as like, oh, this is kind of like less than 50% happening. Lastly, last couple ones I want to talk about. Kirby's Weird HAL Laboratories is not entirely Nintendo owned. Kirby is obviously something they work well with, but again, there was an anime show that was highly overseen by Sakurai when it was made, and you all know it out here because of the 4Kids dub. It's a weird show in a way because you have a weird creeper snail guy who hangs around with DDD. You have really oddball alien Rayman looking children that are like the main stars of the show, and Kirby doesn't actually himself talk. I don't really know what you do with a full-on Kirby movie. You could do Forgotten Land, but again, it's kind of this weird thing where Kirby's not a chatter. He's not a yapper. I don't think you sit there and think, oh, what good celebrity, could Kirby voice? It's like, okay, let's, it's like, I don't know. It's just one of those weird things where I don't really know how you do Kirby, because Kirby is Kirby's very tightly controlled by HAL, and they do a great job, especially in Japan, of maintaining his appeal, maintaining the IP with the cafes, with their merchandise, with all the stuff they have. But as far as let's get Joe Sixpack, and his 12 kids to come to a movie theater and watch the Kirby film. That one might be a little tougher than you think, because again, Kirby doesn't have that sort of universal appeal for the dumb middle American, the way that Mario does. This guy's a plumber. He's a working class like me. I don't know. Like there's a mindset that comes with getting like parents and people who are non-gamers into the theater to watch something. And Kirby's kind of one of those. I don't know how you sell that to someone who never looks at video games at all. And yeah, there's a lot of those people out there. And then the last two, I'm only going to put these up here because I'd be remiss, people would be all over me if I didn't. And there is actually precedent for them, and that is Fire Emblem and Xenoblade. And I don't know what you do for either of these, because they can both work. And the reason I'm even entertaining this idea is because of two films that came out this year and are doing absolutely insane numbers worldwide global box office. And that is the Chainsaw Man movie and the Demon Slayer movie. And the anime industry itself is now grown into a $25 billion adventure. The Japanese government is now being lobbied to push it more. Hollywood is now writing articles about, oh God, anime is like actually huge now. Anime is bringing numbers. Gen Z is showing the F up for their Demon Slayer movies and even for their Chainsaw Man movies. So this is where it's like, can Fire Emblem and Xenoblade, which would obviously be anime movies, they would not be CG films. You would not be trying to, Super Mario Brothers movie these films. Would they actually work? And I'm like, yeah, they could, but what do you adapt? That's the real problem here, is that they would take a little bit more prep and build up. You could, can you do a Fire Emblem Three Houses movie? Sure, but the plot of Three Houses almost demands that it go a little bigger, go a little longer than one movie. Xenoblade, oh God, the same way. There's not one, maybe X, but not even that. None of the Xenoblade games could fit comfortably in the span of one movie's time frame. Both Fire Emblem and Xenoblade, if they go the anime route, which is gaining steam and becoming huge, they need to have at least 26 episodes of an anime leading up to a film finale. That's what they both need, because that's kind of the only way their stories can really get told. You can't really tell any singular Fire Emblem or Xenoblade story in a 90-minute to 2-hour block of time. I don't even want to think about it. And again, Nintendo is, hands-on. Nintendo is being hands-on with these things. So if I can't speak too much to Fire Emblem as much, but like obviously Xenoblade is very, very authorial driven. Like Takahashi it is his baby, it is his brainchild, it is his thing. If they were making a movie, he would be writing it, or he would be part of the writing team. And again, these are complex plots, especially in Xenoblade, and they're not something that you can just shove and crunch, down into 90 minutes. Not to mention, Xenoblade kind of goes against everything Nintendo kind of stands for with its family-friendly, squeaky clean approach. These are films that are based off Gnostic ideas, philosophy, religious themes, overt religious themes, religious condemnation. There's so much going on in these movies that I still to this day, I'm like, can't believe Nintendo's just doing this. All right, you're letting them do it. All right, cool, whatever. It flies low under the radar, I guess. But the only reason I'm even entreating this idea is because Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man are making so much money, and the anime industry itself is blowing up so hard on the global scale that even Nintendo probably can't ignore this. So I think either one of them could get anime series, not movies. They could culminate in a movie the way Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man are doing, but I don't know. That is a long shot. This is like 10% likely happening. These are the least likely. I don't think they're happening. I don't really think Kirby's happening either. And again, I don't think these are the least likely to happen. And then pretty unlikely. I think Smash is sadly kind of unlikely. I think Star Fox Pikmin are also kind of unlikely. And then the sort of 50-50 on Animal Crossing and Metroid. And then they're very likely or are happening is Luigi's Mansion, Donkey Kong, and a third Mario, a second Zelda movie. So that's where I see Nintendo's cinematic universe that is being built going. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen since Nintendo now wants this to be a sort of yearly thing. And yeah, let me know what you're looking forward to, what you think is going to happen, and I'll see you on the channel. Later, dudes.